Hello everybody, today on Political Excess it's going to be Gabbard and Sinema going at it in a hypothetical 2024 matchup. So I'm going to try to go much quicker this time. I'll go into more detail at the end. This one was suggested to me in the comments. I wasn't going to do it, but I decided to come back to it anyway. It's not an easy matchup. There's a lot of unknowns, a lot of different routes you could take. And it remains to be seen how Sinema is going to cast her votes as she left the Democratic Party. And as for Gabbard, she left the Democrats. She's a complete outcast. She might have made some controversial statements, but I think she's going to have a lot of appeal. Let's get started. Alaska is first. That is safe for Gabbard. Hawaii, that's where Gabbard was in the U.S. House, but that would go safe for Sinema. Back up to the West Coast. Washington and Oregon, likely for Sinema. California, safe for Sinema. Nevada leans for Gabbard. Idaho and Utah, safe for Gabbard. Arizona leans for Sinema. Montana and Wyoming, safe for Gabbard. Colorado and New Mexico leans for Sinema. North Dakota, South Dakota, safe for Gabbard. Nebraska at large, safe for Gabbard. The 2nd District leans for Gabbard. Kansas and Oklahoma, safe for Gabbard. Texas, likely for Gabbard. Minnesota, tilt for Sinema. Iowa, Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana, safe for Gabbard. Wisconsin, likely for Gabbard. Illinois, likely for Sinema. Michigan leans for Gabbard. Indiana, safe for Gabbard. Kentucky, Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, safe for Gabbard. Florida will be likely for Gabbard. Georgia leans for Gabbard. South Carolina, safe for Gabbard. North Carolina, likely for Gabbard. Jump up to Ohio, safe for Gabbard. West Virginia, also safe for Gabbard. Up to the Northeast, Maine at large actually flips, and that goes leans for Gabbard. The 1st District, likely for Sinema. The 2nd District, safe for Gabbard. New Hampshire, likely for Gabbard. Vermont, New York, Massachusetts, safe for Sinema. Connecticut, Rhode Island, likely for Sinema. New Jersey and Delaware, likely for Sinema. Maryland will be safe for Sinema. D.C. will be safe for Sinema. Pennsylvania leans for Gabbard. And the last state is Virginia, and that'll be leans for Sinema. So that would result in 308 electoral votes for Gabbard, 230 for Sinema. Gabbard wins this election relatively comfortably. So some of my thoughts on this race, as I said at the beginning, it's a tough matchup since Gabbard used to be a Democrat. She does seem to have more in common with the anti-establishment, more populist type of Republicans at this point. She's anti-war, she has more populist economic appeal, and she pushes back against the woke ideology. Those are all advantages, and that's why many of the typical blue states like Washington, Oregon, Illinois, they end up getting under a 10-point margin. A lot of the progressive Democrats, they're not going to want to come out for Sinema. It would be completely unenthusiastic for her leaving the Democrats. She was viewed as being too moderate when she was with the Democrats. So I don't think she really speaks to many voters. Now, she's still going to do well enough in the deep blue states like California and New York to keep it over a 10-point margin. But Gabbard has a different kind of a message. The establishment and the media would certainly come after her. They would dig up anything she said. They would put a negative spin on it, and they view her as a threat. Now, has she said some things she probably would have said differently? Of course, anybody would. But Gabbard's policies and her vision, I think, are going to be more appealing than Sinema's. The Rust Belt, that would flip red. Even Minnesota gets close. Some moderates and independents, establishment Democrats, I guess they would still come out for Sinema. But I don't think she's really going to be motivating at all. Now, would some Republicans be skeptical of Gabbard because she used to be a Democrat not that long ago? Yeah, some of them would, but I think she's had enough time to prove that she basically rejects most of that party. Some of these margins are borderline, and I'm sure you can make a case for flipping a couple of these other states, but this is just what I think would happen. Let me know in the comments, how do you see this matchup going? Which states would you change, or do you mostly agree with this map? Let me know down below. On your way out, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.